Picture this, a multi-billion-dollar industry, a huge piece of India's digital economy, just stops. Overnight. That is exactly what happened to the real money gaming sector. So today, we're going to break down the sudden ban that has put thousands of jobs and billions of dollars in investment completely on ice.
All right, so to really get why this is such a massive deal, we have to look at the scale. And honestly, the numbers behind this shutdown are just staggering.
Let's just start with the big one, $23 billion. That was the valuation of India's real money gaming industry. We're not talking about some small niche market here. This was an absolute financial juggernaut.
And it wasn't just about the money, you know? The industry supported over 200,000 jobs, both direct and indirect. We're talking developers, data scientists, marketers, support staff, a whole ecosystem of people. And all of that was stopped by just one. A single piece of legislation. One bill brought this entire economic engine to a screeching halt. And let's be really clear here. This bill wasn't about trying to regulate the industry. It was about prohibition, a complete blanket ban on any online game where you pay a fee or have a stake. It just wiped away the whole distinction between skill and chance, freezing giants like Dream11 and MPL, not to mention over 300 other startups.
So the huge question is, why? Why would the government take such an extreme step? Well, the official reasoning boils down to one thing: protecting society.
The IT minister put it pretty bluntly, saying the move was to stop a big evil creeping into society. The government pointed to worries about growing gaming addiction, stories of people facing financial ruin, and even some really tragic suicides that were linked to gaming losses.
And believe me, this law has some serious teeth. They're not just asking companies to stop. We're talking about threatening operators with up to 3 years in prison and fines that can go over $100,000. Even celebrities who endorse these games could be looking at jail time.
But the industry is not taking this lying down. They are firing back hard. Their core argument is that the government is making a massive mistake. They're confusing games of skill with pure gambling and, frankly, using a sledgehammer when a scalpel is what's needed.
Now, this really gets to the heart of the industry's argument, and it's a pretty powerful one. They're basically asking, wait a minute, if the big concern here is addiction and potential harm, why a total ban on us when other sectors with similar risks like alcohol, tobacco, even stock trading are just regulated? It's a fair question, right?
And the economic cost is just immense. I mean, we're talking about an industry that was pulling in $3.6 billion a year, paying over $2 billion in taxes, and had attracted $3 billion in foreign investment. This ban doesn't just stop future growth, it's actively tearing down a major piece of India's digital economy.
So, predictably, the battle is now moving from Parliament straight into the courtroom, and the whole thing hinges on a legal distinction that India's highest courts have backed for decades.
See, for years and years, India's Supreme Court has been very clear. Games of skill are not the same thing as games of chance or, pure gambling. They've been ruled as a totally legitimate business activity, one that's actually protected by the Constitution. The industry's whole legal strategy is built on this foundation.
This quote right here, it absolutely nails the legal challenge. Experts are arguing the law is unconstitutional because it violates the fundamental right to do business. That key term, proportionality, basically means the punishment has to fit the crime. And the argument is that a complete blanket ban is a wild overreaction and therefore illegal.
Okay, so beyond the legal and economic fights, critics are also warning that this whole prohibition strategy is a massive gamble in and of itself, one that could backfire in a spectacular way.
This is the key question that industry groups are asking. I mean, history has shown us time and time again that when you ban something popular, the demand doesn't just disappear, it just goes somewhere else.
And that's the big warning from everyone. This ban will just push millions of Indian players towards illegal, unregulated offshore betting sites. The ones that offer zero consumer protection, have no responsible gaming rules, and pay zero taxes to India. Ironically, these are the very platforms that are linked to the worst cases of financial harm. And here's the kicker. The great irony in all this. This policy could actually end up costing the government money. The legal industry was generating billions in tax revenue. At the same time, estimates suggest India is already losing even more in potential taxes to that illegal offshore market. This ban might just pour gasoline on that fire.
And finally, there's the damage to India's reputation. Think about it. Global investors poured billions into this industry, and now they see a policy landscape where an entire sector can just be wiped out without any warning. That kind of unpredictability, well, it spooks investors. And the chill from that could spread far beyond just gaming.
Which brings us right back to the central question. Was this a necessary move to protect people from harm? Or was it a misguided prohibition that just dismantled a legal Indian industry, vaporized thousands of jobs, and in the end actually empowers the very illegal black market it was supposed to be fighting? The answer to that is going to shape the future of gaming in India.